Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me again, or for the first time. This is your first time. I'm starting to feel the energies shift a lot. I think we're coming into the solstice corridor, and I just feel this momentum that's, yeah, just different. So I want to read. I want to read and see what comes up through the cards or through just speaking in relation to the cards, and just, yeah, we'll just see where we're at. So today's Thursday, the 15th, and I'll probably post this in another day or two when I'm able to. And then the solstice being on Wednesday. God, this card keeps coming out. Look, it's the Three of Earth again, the Three of Pentacles. This is I've been reading this as the Soul Family card, the We're Doing This Together card. Hey, family, we're doing this together. What are we doing now? What are we doing in this moment? Okay. It's funny. Usually it comes out faster. There we go. Okay. Okay. So Page of Cups, Page of Water. So this is a card. I'm going to see what it comes out with. I'm going to pull from a different deck. But this is a card of innocence, and it's also a card of new beginnings. So I'm not really sure where this is going. Yeah, I mean, kind of the energy that I'm getting from these two cards is like this, kind of like we're in a fresh place. But what's interesting is this isn't a pentacle. This isn't like Page of Pentacles or Page of Wands, which would be like, oh, we're on a new path. And remember, we kept getting the Page of Pentacles. If you watched the other ones, we were getting the Page of Pentacles and, you know, just kind of starting on a new path. It's like this can be the energy of something new and fresh, but it's the water. It's the psychic realm. It's the intuitive realm. And so I'm wondering, and we'll see as we go along. I'm wondering, yeah, let me just, that's what I'm feeling from that. Hi, Boudica. I think my cat's gonna come up. That's okay. The High Priestess again. So she was all over that last reading. Yeah. So what I'm really feeling is like something has really shifted. Something is really shifting in the potentials, at least. Okay, or in your individual life, you might be feeling this, where we're just in this whole other level of connection with our higher knowing, with our higher aspects, with our soul memories. You know, a while ago, a couple weeks ago, it was like there was this invitation. It was like, hey, there's all this stuff available, but it's almost like I just almost feel like we're saturated with this, with our own, we could say, with the higher light. We're having all this geomagnetic activity right now as I'm doing this, which is probably why I'm talking so fast and kind of fired up, because I get kind of high off that energy. It's just, there's just so much. It's just like this, just, you know, packets of information all around. And yeah, so that's kind of space I am in. What am I saying? So this being okay, so the higher energy coming in is all around us. We're inundated. That's what I was saying. It's like we're inundated with this energy, like we're breathing it. We are it. Okay, so but it's also this connection to okay, yeah, this connection to our higher aspects, to our soul memories, however we want to say it, our intuition. It's like it's just more. It's not even just more accessible. It's like we are becoming this. It's like we're merging in the physical, with our larger selves, with our memories, with more of us. And I think that's what this is saying. This is what this is saying to me, is we're kind of in a new path. We're in a new path with our psychic terrain. We're in a new path with what's available. There's a new energy. There's a new availability, a watery availability. And this is within, you know, a collaboration. Again, it's the collaboration card, the soul family card, the soul contract card. So we're all kind of like in this soup together. So let's see where this goes. This is exciting. This is really exciting. Okay. 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 So 8 of Cups. So this is a card of letting go. It's a card of leaving something behind. Okay, but look at how it's almost like he's like it's like he's leaving. He knows he needs to leave, but he's kind of just like looking back. Like he's kind of looking back like, well, really, can I really leave this behind? And this is Cups, so we know that what's in front of him here is water, a big bowl of water. So there's that psychic energy again. There's that intuition. There's that leaning into our higher knowing. But he's kind of like, really, which direction is he looking? He's looking to the left. He's looking to his left brain. He's looking to his linear brain. He's like, really? But what do you say about this? Like, come on, ego. Let's have one more last powwow. Let's tear her to shreds, and let's doubt her, and let's be afraid of her, and let's be really fearful of this water. And what do you think? Is it safe? And it's kind of like, well, don't look over there. That's the energy that we're moving out of. That's not going to give you guidance. We're looking over here now. We're looking over here. Look, they're facing opposite directions. But so that's just, maybe part of the process, because again, this is really new, where it's like, okay, we have all this access. We can do so much. We can leap into these watery realms. We can allow them to show us mysteries and magic and ways of maneuvering and ways of moving through what used to be very stuck walls that now all of a sudden just unfold. Because when you're in that higher energy, there's a different set of rules. There's a different, you're with cosmic law, and cosmic law is, it's quantum, it's movable. It's not this kind of, this kind of stuck. I don't really have a card to represent the stuck, but let's just say him looking back over his shoulder to the old ways. It's a different way, but it takes some time to really surrender into that, and to really be able to trust, and to know that that this is our original alignment. This is our birthright, this path, and this knowing, this alignment, this guidance, this inner guidance. And we've been conditioned to look outside of ourselves instead of looking in here. What's he doing? He's looking over here. Why is he looking over here? He has everything right here. All he has to do is look in it. Look in that bowl. He's still looking over here, and it's a bad pattern. It's a bad habit, I was going to say, or an old pattern. But but it's totally understandable, because it's been lifetimes. It's been lifetimes as this kind of training. So, even though she's here, and even though this energy is literally like just in every breath, like it's all around us. It's kind of like, and that was kind of the reading the last time, where it was like, choose now. It feels like pressing and imminent, because it is important. It's like, if we're going through the shift of the ages, and we're going through all these strange things in our world, and it's the Einstein quote, you can't solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. Like, it's time to jump, it's time to evolve. And yet, again, it is that process. But the energies right now are just like, they're pressing on us. And when we feel pressed upon, we want to go to what feels safe. But to be honest, this doesn't really feel safe anymore. So it's just that, there's a I want to say there's a choice point, but I don't know that it's a choice point. It's almost like there's like a crunch. Anyway, let's get another card. It's really exciting. It is like a death, the ego death, and that sure came up in that last reading. It's a crunch. It's a jump. It's a loving, slap on the ass, And for some of us, it can feel a bit hot. It can feel a bit, pressurized, and yeah, and okay, and then but to lean into that pressure, and to just breathe into that pressure and allow that pressure. It's like, okay, then it can kind of release, and we can find space within it. But that kind of like building, trembling, like I don't know if you feel this. I feel this sometimes with the geomagnetic activity. It's better now because my body's acclimated, but I would literally wake up and I would feel my body shaking. It's like I could feel like my electrons spinning differently or something, and it actually made me really anxious, because I was just like, oh my god, am I dying? What's going on? But as I started to just kind of relax and trust that process, then it didn't really feel like that. It felt more like ecstasy or bliss, or like kind of how I am now. I get really charged with these energies. Anyway, so part of it is getting used to how it feels to merge with these higher frequencies. This is going to be my higher frequency card today. To merge with these higher frequencies, what it feels like in our body, what it feels like in our minds. It can make us feel like we're going a little crazy. It can make us feel kind of manic or frantic. But you know, to just kind of like, as soon as we can flip the script and remind ourselves that this is for us, and this is how we how we're acclimating to the energies. We see it as an acclimation. Acclimation, is that a word? I'm sorry, my brain is. Then we can relax into it and allow it to guide us, and allow it to trust us, which is the point. And that's the point of her, is to trust rather than to look backwards and try to fixate and secure and feel safe. Just, you know, trust, know this is the process, know this is what happens when we're shifting from one frequency into another. You know, I mean, literally I heard somebody say the other day, and I knew that we, like, you know, we usually get like maybe one or two, had heard we get like one or two X flares a year. And now I think it was April, we got like 5 in 1 month. But what I didn't know is that in 2018, she said we didn't get any M flares at all. And now we can get like 10 in a day, you know, 13 in a day. So it's like, there's just so much coming online, so much available to us right now. And there is information in that energy. There is information in the packets of light, and that we can trust it, and we can allow it to unpack, and just to allow and go with it and surrender, which is easier said than done. And it's a process. But just to talk about that, and to say that out loud, and to remind ourselves and to remind each other, because again, you know, it's like, there's a lot of talk and a lot of conversation in this old energy, and, you know, it's kind of all you hear, and it's all around you, and it's like, you know, we want to start having different conversations, because there's something different going on, and we're feeling it, and we're being affected by it. So let's put our attention on it, and let's work together and put our different pieces together, so that we can flow with this and do this shift, and in consciousness, you know, gracefully and beautifully, and help it to land faster than it will if we're, you know, clinging to the old, clinging to what's comfortable. You know. Okay, so there we get the Hermit, and that's the card that we ended on last time. We ended on the Hermit with the Ace of Cups. So it was kind of this energy of like, you know, that allowing that connection, that higher connection, to kind of like percolate in and enter deep into the body and deep into the soul, to reconfigure our energy field, which then reconfigures our bodies, which then reconfigures our desires, in a sense. You know, it's like all of a sudden we're wired differently, we're more lined up, we have more access to our guidance. So all of a sudden we start craving different things, different foods, different activities, different people, you know, allowing that to really sink the whole way in. But let's see what it comes up with today. It's almost comical how charged up I feel. Okay, what are we doing with the Hermit? What else do we have to say about the Hermit? The Soul card. Okay. All right, so we have 4 cards. Let's do these 2 first. So we have the Empress and the Hangman. Okay, let's do all of them at once. Then we have the Queen of Air and the Page of Fire. So here's our spirit path. We were talking about this, the psychic path with the water, the new beginning with the Page of Water. Now we have the Page of Fire. So we have that kind of psychic realm, and we have the spirit realm. We have the Queen of Air. What are we saying here? And this is coming out with the Hermit. Okay, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and this is pretty clunky. It's kind of a clunky passage. Okay, because on the one hand, we're in our power. We're in our power, you know, and we totally have this. Like, we totally have this. We're centered. But on the other hand, we're kind of like tied up in something, you know? So although we might feel empowered, it's almost like we're on hold in a way, or we're being held in a certain, maybe a certain situation, or maybe a certain energy. Maybe we feel really stuck. Like, we might feel this level of empowerment and alignment, but we might also feel like we're waiting for something to release. It's like a horse at the gate. It's like we're ready, you know, we're in this alignment. We have this this deep kind of like kernel in our souls. You know, we're really kind of vibrating with this energy. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm feeling from this energy. It's like there's this momentum, there's this building, there's this like the cards are stacked, you know. We have it all, and yet we're on pause. So maybe that energy, you know, that building energy is kind of like the power of the solstice energy and all the other, you know, all the other things that go along that, the alignments, the I mean, because it's all connected, right? So it's planetary, it's in the earth, it's in the stars, it's in the, you know, it's everywhere. And so there's a lot going on, right? That kind of energy, a lot going on. And yet we're kind of on pause yet, because we're in this sort of canal, okay? We're in this sort of like passage. We're starting to move. It's starting to light up. It's starting to ignite. But then we get the Queen of Air. And it's like, what is she doing here? I mean, the Queen of Air, I mean, the air is swords, that's the mind, right? But she's usually like a higher mind card, because she's with the owl, and, you know, she kind of knows what's going on. She's pretty wise. But in this moment, I kind of feel like her and him are hanging out a little bit. Like, he's like, what do you think? Like, I know you're really smart, and you can usually see through bullshit and stuff. And what do you think? Is this a good idea? You know, like, they kind of have the intellect going. And she's like, well, let me see. You know, this is kind of because it's like that's what threw me when I pulled these cards. Like, she's kind of out of place. And so is this. You know, this is kind of out of place too, because there's all this momentum, and there's all this gorgeous new beginning, and there's all this, higher energy, you know, higher energy. It's swirling all around, and then there's this configuration. So it's like there's a little bit of a hold up while we kind of like assess, you know, our old selves are kind of assessing, which is totally understandable. It's totally understandable, especially when the stakes are high. If you're in a situation where, like, you could, you know, you think you might die, or which is what I just went through, or, you know, you might, like, lose your house, or, you know, security things, right? Those root issues, you know. Then you're like, really, is it really safe? Like, it's okay to trust and to flow when it comes to, you know, I don't know, whatever it is we're good at trusting and flowing in. Maybe we're good at trusting and flowing in our relationships, our friendships, or, you know, when we're out in the forest, you know, you're not going to get lost, and you're going to find your way, or you're going to find the magic, or whatever it is we're good at flowing in. But when it comes to things that really hit the root issues, then, you know, that's where you're really tested. You know, that's where you're really tested. But what we can find is the more that we lean into our left brain and the control and the, like, well, let me figure it out, and let me, not quiet my mind so that I can hear, you know, a more inspired, higher, integrated, big picture type of answer and solution. Let me kind of stay stuck in my mind. What happens is we get stuck. So, you know, there's all this energy building, there's all this potential, and we're still a little bit stuck on the fence. Again, but it's like when this energy gets this big, gets this big and this powerful and this soul, you know, because here's the soul alignment, and here she is in the physical. You know, the Empress it's like Taurian energy. It's like on the earth. Okay, so she's on the earth. She's the most empowered on the earth card that we have. Okay, so this is all lined up, and if you have any kind of stuck places, this is going to, stuck places, which is what, we only ever have stuck energy. We only ever have issues in our body. We only ever have issues with any kind of flow, abundance, friendship, whatever, if we have old concepts that are out of alignment with the truth of reality. So if we still have, old concepts that we're playing out, that we're stuck on, then things aren't going to flow, okay? But with energy this big, it's going to flow. It's like the floodgates. Like it's just going to push it out. And so, if you are like me and others that I know about that are feeling a bit of tension and a bit of push right now, the way to move through that is to surrender the mind, to just kind of tell the mind to stop. Like, okay, you've had the show for a long time, but I'm here now. Well, I'm here, and I'm here. I'm here. Therefore, in my body, I'm here, and so I don't need you to protect me anymore. I don't need you to, take care of things. I know you were for a long time, but I'm back, and can't you see? Can't you see my presence? You can trust me. And this one, she's like, yeah. She's like, I see. Things have changed. The whole energetic field is different. Like she's figuring it out as well. So, he's going to go to her for counsel, and she's going to help be the bridge. She's going to help be the bridge between the old and the new. Okay. And then this is going to unstuck. But it's almost like there's a little conversation. We're on pause. There's a little conversation going on right now, but it's working itself out. So I'm still, it's just still kind of interesting. It's like this is a pretty disjointed reading in a sense, which I think is indicative of the energy. We still have this over here. So it's like, what is the like overall energy? The overall energy is that the soul tribe is on a new path. Friends, the soul tribe is on a new path, and this path is one where it's the very beginning. It's very watery. It's very intuitive. We're doing it together. Let's not forget that. How long did I talk for? 22 minutes. Wow. But it's new, and there's a bit of a conversation. There's a bit of a conversation going on right now, and it can feel very intense because of the momentum and the fact that we really are in a new space, and this is like the truth of the configuration. This is the truth of the energy that we have available to us and inside of us. So we've anchored this, we've stabilized this, whether we feel like it or not, because if we don't feel like it, it's because we're in this energy, and we're in this council right now, okay? But just, I feel the message is to know that behind this council, is very much this, okay, is this. Doesn't matter how these go. They're all together, no matter what order. This is what's behind it. This is what's true. This is where we're at. This is what's accessible to us and available to us, okay? This new path is here. This new watery path is here. And this is us. That's the message, okay? And so then, again, the conversation and the hang up, totally understandable. But when you're in this and it feels really crunchy, just remember the truth of what's going on. So get one more card. And like 10 fall out, but those went on the floor, so forget them. Okay, so this is Four of Air. I want to know what they are. Oh yeah, it's the Emperor. It's just one more, the Emperor. Look, the Emperor and the Empress. What is this? This is union. This is union of our we could say it's union of our left and our right brains, because it's, their divine counterparts, the Emperor and the Empress, their divine counterparts. So they represent a union of anything that's been opposite, that's been in polarity. So masculine, feminine, higher, lower. This is union energy. This is again the truth of what's going on. What was I going to say about him? Oh, I guess just he's not really in union. He's kind of conflicted. But the other cards that came out were the Four of Air and the Chariot. This is the fairy stallion in this deck, which I love that it's called that. It's so cute. But the Four of Air and the Chariot. So this is a card of healing. It's a card of taking a pause. Okay, so this is just, okay, this just validates that this thing that we're doing right now, this bit of a counsel, this bit of a pause, is part of the healing. You know, it's like we just did like a huge jump. We've been through a lot. We've done a lot, you know, all of us. Taking turns, doing a lot, clearing stuff, confronting stuff, making different choices. Is that my cat? Hi, honey. I was stuffing her. Making different choices, leaving jobs, leaving relationships, you know, taking risks. You know, confronting those hard spaces. We've done a lot, and we're you know, we're in this sort of like transformation energy. We're in this rebirth energy. We're in this, again, this new energy. But we're taking a pause. We're resting a little bit because whew, that was a lot. You know, that was a lot. And we just want to sit a little bit. We just want to sit. We want to sit a little. We want to sit. We want to rest. We want to pause. And we just, you know, we just want to check in. We just want to check in with our wise higher mind. Like, are we okay? You know, are we okay? I have this big bowl of water here in front of me, and, you know, I'm going to dive into it in a minute, but, you know, I'm just going to take a breath. I'm going to take a breath, and I'm going to, you know, kind of balance myself between these two worlds. But again, the fact that the Emperor, and I'm glad I looked what was on the floor, the fact that these two are here, it's just validating again what I was saying about this energy, you know, where it's like, this is the truth of where we're at, this is the truth of where we're at. We're sovereign, we're united, we have access to that unity consciousness, which is outside of polarity, which is outside of, you know, all of that us and them and fear and, oh my God, this is going on and bad things are gonna happen, and, you know, oh gosh, what are we gonna do? What's the plan? How am I gonna figure it out and control it? Nope. We're gonna rest. We're gonna be still. We're gonna listen. We're gonna receive. We're gonna trust. We're gonna trust our alignment. We're gonna remember that we're in this together, that we're not alone. And then we're gonna move forward. This is the last card. This is a card of victory. It's the highest. The Six of Wands is the victory card, but this is the higher octave. We could think of it that way, right? Like, this is a card of spitting. It's a card of victory where you've done the work. You have mastered. You know, you've gotten your two horses together. Usually, there's a black and a white horse in this. What if I magically pulled it in the other deck? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, usually there's a black and a white horse. But it's kind of like this. Like, you've gotten your polarities together. You've gotten your light and your dark. You've gotten your left and your right. You've gotten them together, and because of that, you can move forward. But yeah, again, it's like we're kind of in this little bit of a pause. I'm really excited to see what the energy's like on next week with the solstice energy, and then of course after that. So anyway, 28 minutes. Okay, so that's the reading, and I hope that's helpful. It was helpful to me because I was trying to feel into this energy, but again, because it was kind of clunky and kind of like, I'm feeling all this momentum, but I'm also, I mean, it just was really illuminated in the cards. And thanks for putting up with my fast talking and my sort of like solar ecstasy. So, all right, I hope you're all doing fabulously, and much love, and I'll see you next time.